Well, I think in particular, a few things to notice at first. We have two 21s, so for some reason the number 21 could be relevant to you. It could also break down to the number 3, which could be relevant. Another thing to look at is you have quite a high number of cards that are high in number. So we have 39, 35, 21, 20, 21 and 10. Those high numbers would make me think that you're on some sort of completion of a cycle in your life one way or another. And another symbol of that is the World card. But the World card is reversed, as is the Page of Cups, which indicate a little bit of a discombobulation or a lack of cohesiveness or a lack of perhaps fulfillment or understanding of a situation or a cycle in your life. So it's like something's coming to a completion or an end, but you may not necessarily be ready for it or understand it or have been wanting it to happen, or it's something just not quite right. It's not ticking all of your boxes one way or another. So that's something else to ponder upon, perhaps with those first messages that came. The Page of Cups reversed, so let's start on the side over here. The Page of Cups reversed would tend to sort of symbolize saying that, you know, you feel a bit blasé or like, oh, you know, I wish for something. I wish for perhaps love or a partnership or a person. And some of you may be setting your sights on a particular person or love type feeling or symbology or attitude or concept or idea, but it may not be right at this time. It may mean you need to look into something or change a few perspectives or dynamics around this particular idea. And for some of you, it may even refer to younger people in your life. You may be wanting younger people to behave in a certain manner or deliver a certain perspective or aspect as well. And again, this may not be right because it may not be right for them, or you're not necessarily taking a whole picture into view around an idea there. Now, the angel underneath, the 5th chakra, Archangel Gabriel, he comes to you in the mode of communication. So through the throat, and you have so many chakra cards as well. Well, we talked about the yellow chakra in the message that I gave you in the beginning, and then we got your throat chakra and the base chakra as well. So I'm also thinking some of you, have you been feeling down, like either physically down or emotionally down or drained? It feels as though some of you literally need like a pick-me-up, a booster. And again, this could be in many different ways. Is it health? Is it emotional? Is it physical? Is it spiritual? Some of you are going on this journey, this upside down journey, but it's not going to be forever. You are sorting things out. You're working through stuff at many, many levels. So I think, you know, this reading, when I got those messages at the beginning, I think this is a very profound reading for you guys that you could literally ponder upon in the month of May, and it will take you further as the year evolves. And this is the sort of reading that you could come back to many times and just go over again, pick out the cards that resonate the most, pick out the messages from them, the pictures, the colours, the words, and utilize them in the month to clear blockages in particular, or uplift positive energies, or give you protection around certain ideas or thoughts or concepts as well. But coming back to Gabriel and the throat chakra, if it's not your physical throat that's giving you problems such as thyroid issues or viruses, sore throats, teeth, neck, bones, you know, bones out of a place or alignment, then it is communication. And it is either communication in talking with these type of ideas or situations or thoughts up here that could be concerning people in your life, or it's talking to others about the same problems, or it's listening to, because I see this trumpet here, and that often indicates to us we need to listen while other people are talking. So it feels as though a lot of this involves perhaps other people, and either talking or listening or having them have their say and you doing the listening, or vice versa. And this acceptance card under here also really reiterates that. It's about understanding everybody's perspective and point of view and differences, and knowing that it's fine too to have these points of view and differences, and we don't have to fit in with everyone all the time. If you have a particular perspective in life, you don't have to give that up. As long as it's not harming another person or harming yourself, then you can feel free to go through with that and know that acceptance is fine as long as it is in the positive manner. So it's about seeing yourself as you wish to see yourself as well, and allowing others to see that, and also allowing others to be who they are. So this is a really deep reading, isn't it? We have the world reversed, and then we have Archangel Michael, who is a very great protector, but also very good about physical strength as well. So definitely strengthening this body part of you. And for some of you, this is the base chakra we're on now. So this is your, what I mentioned before, sort of bowel issues, irritable bowel, celiacs, toxin overloads that may be in your body that could be affecting your stomach and your bowel. And if any of you understand the way things like probiotics are very good for you to take at this time, but when our stomach is out of kilter and our probiotics in our own stomach is flattened and deflated, it allows us to suffer a much higher degree of immune issues. So we can find ourselves with immunocompromised health and all of the related issues that come with that. So regaining some sort of internal gut strength physically for you guys, and your bowel strength could be really important at this time. Some of you could even get food poisoning or something along those lines. Also to do with the lower back, the hips and legs. Some of you may have operations or have the need to massage or therapy. You might pull a ligament or have a sore back. Any of the things like osteopaths, chiropractors, Reiki could be really beneficial for you. But coming back to the reversed world, it feels as though you have been on this journey of completion, which is what I said earlier. You're coming to the point of completion, but you may not be aware of it. So it might be something that you're thinking, God, when is this cycle going to end? Why am I stuck in this rut? But it's working. It's all coming to fruition. It's all turning over. Nothing remains the same in the universe. Constant is the only change. So if any of you feel as though you're in a place where you wish you weren't, know that it won't be like that forever. It is evolving. It is growing. It is moving. It is changing. And part of that can be through communication, such as we said over here, acceptance, tolerance, knowing that timing is perfect and that it is working, and also having the help of any angels who are around you, such as those two. Call upon them for help and utilize their energies, and then be gracious and thank them for helping situations to evolve and bringing positive energies into things. The reversed world really does talk about too the need to understand, to not be afraid to ask for help if you are in a stuck situation, because in real terms there are quite a few people around you. All of these are friends or potential family members, possibly even new people coming into your life who can be very helpful to you and can offer you solutions in any of the areas where you feel stuck. This can include creativity, your job, relationships, your health. So you have got this opening of people coming in, and you have got a great presence of protection from celestial helpers. I see a lot of angels in your reading. For some reason, just then, I noticed all these beautiful angel wings down here. So some of you have got guardian angels around you. Some of you have got the archangels and celestial helpers. So it could be a very powerful month, this month of May, when you address deep personal messages or deep personal issues that could be healing and cathartic and move you further into the year. We come to the third column and we see the Ten of Pentacles, strategy, and the Innocence. So the Ten of Pentacles often talks about, again, people who nurture you or who support you one way or another. Now, this can be parents or grandparents or people from an older generation. They are often family related one way or another. It can also mean that you could be moving into a home where there is protection or nurturing or dividends of one sort or another. For some of you, it could mean a small inheritance coming or a loan coming your way from someone who is quite financially grounded or successful. For some of you, this can also mean that there is a period in your life where your finances are feeling very comfortable and that you have felt this yourself in your own nesting ability. So some of you might be dealing with personal issues from perhaps traumatic events when you might have been young, but alternatively at the same time, you feel quite comfortable as an adult with material perspectives in your life. So there seems to be a dichotomy in your reading of different feelings here going on. Some of you are definitely feeling quite stabilised and financially adept, and others of you are sort of floating around a bit, wondering this way or that way, or what do I do, or where do I go? And underneath it is the strategy card. Now, so it's telling you to apply a strategy if it's around your finances, if it's around family, if it's around home situations. So if there's something that needs to be done here, whether it's involving yourself and your home, your grounding roots, like where do I live, who do I live with, how do I live, what do I do with my money or finances, or how do I gain it, or how do I establish it, or how do I invest it. It's telling you very seriously to use a good strategy. So strategy involves planning and thinking ahead. And it actually has a journal, a diary, and the feather, which is noted as a pen. So for a lot of you, it's suggesting to write down your thoughts and feelings and plan things out to the T. So spending some time with integral planning will be very beneficial for you around a situation involving, as I say, money, finances, schemes, career, employment, or your homes, and possibly your family members. And innocence, it says, that's an interesting card to come out, because it says, beloved one, everyone is guiltless in truth, as no one can alter God's handiwork of perfection. Give us your feelings of heaviness so we can lighten your load. Give us any guilt, anger, or blame that may shroud your loving outlook, and enjoy the peace within your heart once more. And again, that message comes back to what I said in the very beginning about the emotional wounding, and perhaps that some of you feel as though there is this pain or trauma around a situation involving people in your life. And that innocence card kind of says that whenever anyone comes into our life, even though the hardest lessons we learn and what seemingly is the most painful come from the people or the souls that love us the most, because they are pushing us to our boundaries so that our soul can grow and learn. But in reality, from a spiritual perspective, they're innocent of any wrongdoing. I know that's such a hard concept for anyone to get their head around, and it takes a great deal of time. But if you can work through that, it could be very relevant for some of you. We come to this last column. We have the Seven of Wands, the Envy card, and the focus on service. So the Seven of Wands, again, just reaffirms that whatever you might have been trying to do, is you're getting there. Don't give up. There's action coming, and it's like, I just tilted the blinds to get rid of the light that was filtering across the table. But it's like seeing some sort of point of acknowledgement of a project or something that you've been doing, and knowing that you haven't been wasting your time, that the steps you've been taking are forwarding you to the next goal, to the next place. And the envy card underneath is about acknowledging what you do have and the successes you have had, and letting go of any negative perspective and thinking, oh, it's not happening fast enough, or I haven't got what I want, I want more. If we focus on the negatives, that's what we get in life. So spending time focusing on all the positives, all this, she has all these pearls and this gift of jewels all around her, but she seems to be looking too far out and forgetting all the gifts of wonder she currently has in her life. So come back to your own space and readjust your thinking and really acknowledge everything you have in your life. The graciousness of knowing that you have a wonderful life and that you've experienced so much and that you've gained much along the way, and that you can feel love and passion and wonder and happiness and have family and people who support you and friends. Those are all the focusing points. And then, as we said, that focus on service down here. If we get into the state of giving and receiving, such as this, which is your last card for the month, which is taking you into June, it tells us that that's a cycle that never stops, that it continues to evolve, and every time we give something, we automatically receive one way or another. So this, in fact, is a very powerful card about giving and receiving, and knowing that every time we do, it takes us another step towards our collaborative future, because it involves collaborating with others. You give something out, you get something back. You also give yourself something like positivity and love and warmth and happiness and joy, and you'll get that back again. So cycles of life continually evolve, and even when we have been through something that has been destructive or traumatic or causing grief or pain or loss, we know that that never exists forever, that we then go through the cycle of love and light and happiness and feeling and connection. So there's this continual evolution of growth and awareness and light and acknowledgement. So there we are, Librans. I hope you have really enjoyed the messages that came. They seemed fairly profound for you guys, and I hope that they help you to understand a little bit more in depth and a little bit more behind the scene. And when I look at your reading there, I'm really interested, even though there's all this beautiful pink down here, I'm being struck across the camera vision by an amazing amount of gold. And gold is the colour of the sun, and the sun is the colour of light, and that's also the colour of the yellow chakra, and that is the colour of love within, self-love, Christ love, one love.